Welcome to part 2 of this exciting tutorial in which we are going to look at task 2 of the March 2021 paper 4 IT paper. In the previous video we dealt with the global logo and the world PNG map, or the world map.png. So we are going to use the world map.png in this animation. So let's get into, before we get into animate, let's read the question. It says if you use your world map underscore color image to create an animation that appears to show a globe continually spinning on a black background. The animation should be created from the world map color image, scrolling behind a fixed circular mask, and the globe should appear to rotate once every 3 seconds. Set the animation to 500 pixels by 500 pixels and save the animation as an animated GIF or SWF file named world underscore spin underscore followed by your center number underscore candidate number. So right away we've been given a clue of how the size of our animation should be. That's 500 pixels by 500, and we've also been given a clue of how to make sure we have it spinning in a global look by creating a fixed circular mask. So let's dive into our animation software. I'm using Adobe Animate. So first I'm going to click on create new, and change the width and the height to 500. Leave the frame rate at 30 frames per second and platform type as ActionScript. Next we resize our stage to fit to window, and then there we have our 500 by 500. Next we need to import our world map into the library or the stage, but before then let's take a look at the question again. Yes, we have a world map here, but we realize that it's duplicated, so we have 2 Africas, 2 of everything. So let's go back into Animate, rename the first layer that we have here to BG for background. Let's create another layer and name this map. Now let's go into file, and then first of all let's import to library, and then let's look for our file that we created in task 1. That's this one, and say open. So to see our file, we click on library here and click on it once, and then you have a preview of it. So now we can drag this map onto the layer. Make sure this map layer is selected. So you have our map here. Now we need another map, so we go to the library again, drag and then place it side by side. So we have a lengthy duplicated map. But if you look at the question paper, you realize that this portion, let me zoom in here, the Bering Strait, that's the strait between Alaska and parts of Russia. I mean, this is parts of Russia and this is parts of Alaska. The Bering Strait is not that far apart, so we need to fix that. Else, what we'll be doing is inaccurate. So to fix that issue, we need to go back to task 1 and go into Photoshop. So I'm going to go back into Photoshop, where we had our background and our map separated. And I'm going to change the canvas size to make it wider enough so that it can accommodate 2 maps. So I'm going to change this to say 19 and then click OK. Now I'm going to press Ctrl and 0 so that I can have a full view of my canvas. And I'm going to select the map layer, or let me select both. Okay, I'm going to select just the background layer, the blue layer. Press Ctrl and T, hold down Shift, drag this to the side and drag this to the other side. I'm going to select the map, drag this to the side a little bit, and then I'm going to duplicate that map by pressing Ctrl D, Ctrl J, sorry, and then dragging the duplicated map to the right. And I'm going to make sure the Bering Strait is a bit closer. Now we realize that we have this excess ocean here which we need to take care of. So we are going to trim that portion off so that when it's animating there will not be a long break before you see the maps again. So I'm going to pick my crop tool and crop this portion off. And if you can't find your crop tool on your toolbar, you can click on these 3 dots here, click and hold, and then look for the crop tool. There it is. And then drag the right handle inwards. And when you are satisfied with, you can drag this side a little bit inwards as well. When you're okay, then you can click the correct sign. Now we can add a little space to the top and the bottom. So we can press Ctrl Alt C to change the canvas size once again. And then change the height to, let's say, 6, just a little bit. Yeah, I think 6 is okay. Or 6 might be too much, so let's do Ctrl Z, Ctrl Alt C once again, and then let's change it to just 5. Great. Now we click on the background layer or the ocean, press Ctrl and T, hold down Shift whilst you readjust, and then click the correct sign, and then we are good to go. Now for the purpose of this animation, We can rename, we can save this. Once again, we will save it as a PNG file, but we can give it your own name, like animate map underscore map, and then save. Now let's go back into Animate. So we are back in Animate. So what we're going to do is we're going to do away with this layer. So with the layer selected, you click delete. It's gone. And let's create a new layer, which will hold our new animate map, and then go to File, Import to Library. This is our animate map, the new one. Open, so here it is in our library. You can drag that onto the layer. So now we have the bearing straight close enough. Next thing we need to do is we need to deal with the background, which is black. So I'm going to click on this eye here for layer 3. Let me rename it first. Map. Just to switch it off for a while, and then I'm going to select the background layer and pick my shape tool, rectangle tool. Go to properties and ensure that the fill is black. Now go to one of the corners, click and drag across the stage. So I have a black background. Next, I'm going to add another layer and double click to rename it as globe. So for the globe, I'm going to pick the ellipse or the oval tool, can change the color to any color, then hold shift whilst I drag across the stage. Now I'm going to ensure that it fits into the stage. Let me reduce the stage size a little bit. Now to resize the oval, you can come to the properties panel, and on the object tab you can change the width and the height here. In this case, you see it's slightly bigger, so we are going to change it to 500, and then the height also to 500. And then make sure the position is 0. So you see it fits in exactly. But it seems when we zoom in, it seems portions of the edges are trimmed off. So let's reduce the size just a little bit by, let's say, a pixel or two. So that's going to be 498 by 498. Sorry, 498. Yeah, so I think this is okay. So we have our globe and we have our map. So let's show the map again. Rightly. Yeah, so let's resize, fit to window. Now these portions have to be taken care of. It must fill the entire height. So I'm going to resize my stage once again, and this time I'm going to select the free transform tool to resize the map. So I can hold shift and extend it a little bit, or something like this. Okay, I'm going to select the right click on the map layer and select mask. Now if you don't see this, then it means we need to interchange the layers. So all you need to do is press Ctrl Z, don't panic, come back to the layers panel and interchange the map and then the globe layer position. So the globe is on top of the map, and this time around you right click on the globe layer and then select mask. Now I'm going to press Ctrl Z again because we need to do a thing or two before we do the masking. Now we need to select the map and convert it to a symbol. So I right click and select convert to symbol. Can just call it map underscore 01, and then the next thing we need to do is to drag the map to your left and still with the map layer selected, we insert or we create a motion tween. Now the question says our animation should last for 3 seconds, after which it should start again. So I'm going to extend the motion tween. So when I see the double handles, I click and drag till I get to the 3-second mark and then release. Now at this 3-second mark, the whole map should have gone through the stage. So I'm going to click and drag my map across till it gets to the end. So when I play this back, this is the motion I'm supposed to get. Now we need to extend the background and the globe as well to accommodate the 3 seconds. So to do that, I'm going to click on the 3-second mark of the background, right click, and then I say insert frame. Go to the globe layer as well, right click, insert frame. So throughout the animation, the globe is in front of the map. Now still with the globe selected, we right click and then we mask. Now we can go to control to test our animation. This is how it's supposed to be. Now let's check on how we are supposed to save our work. We've set it to 500 by 500 and save the animation as an animated GIF or an SWF. File name this. So I'm going to copy the example name Why is it not allowing me to? Okay, so I'm going to copy that, go to animation, file, export as animate GIF. Make sure the file tab is on GIF. The size is okay. Width and height should be 500, and then press enter. Then we bring in our name. Image should be GIF, and then you say save. So we are done. So let's check from our folder if our GIF worked. Right. So if you right, so that does it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe, like and share so that I can churn out more of these videos. Till we meet the next time, it's bye.